I was reminded of something this morning as I was getting ready. And it's a great thing to remember that nobody can make me feel anything. And I can't make you feel anything. Right? So I thought about that when I was getting dressed this morning, and I thought, well, what are people going to think when I'm wearing jeans and a t-shirt? And I've never done that on a Sunday morning. And I thought, wow, some people will probably go, hey, yeah, that's great. And some people will probably say, what? You're not wearing a suit or a tie? So it's interesting. I was reminded that we all are responsible for our own reactions. And that I can't make you feel anything. And you can't make me feel anything. I can say something up here, and somebody can think, boy, that's the best thing I ever heard, and be really happy about it. Somebody else can hear the very same phrase and think, how could he possibly? So you see what I'm saying? I can't control that. And so I think it's important for us and for me to recognize that I have the responsibility for what I feel, what I think, and what I do with that. And I have the responsibility to change that. Now, this all came about because I was thinking about this idea of inspiring. That's one of our core values. I'm completing my series on our 5 core values with the core value of inspiring. How do we live our core value that we call inspiring? What does it mean to be inspiring? Now, hang with me for a minute, because what came to me, and we can have a conversation about this, is that I don't claim to be inspiring, and I don't claim that this center is inspiring. Anybody have a reaction to that? Keep going. Because what I feel about that, and what that scripture I read earlier reminded me of, when Jesus said, when you drink of this well, the water that I will give you, you will never be thirsty again. It is from that well that you receive. It's that well that inspires you. And so I think inspiration comes from our connection with Spirit. And so I like this idea of this is a definition I got from somewhere. Inspired is to fill with the urge to feel or do something. I can't fill you with the urge to feel something. I think that comes from within us. And so I like this idea of inspiriting rather than inspiring. Inspiriting. And what I mean by that is really connecting with Spirit, which is the source of everything. It is our life. It is our life force. It is all that we are in truth. And so when we connect with that, we are inspired to feel something. What do you feel when you really connect with Spirit? Joy. What? Peace. Love. Anybody else? What do you feel? Huh? Lots of energy. Fulfillment. What? Fluffy? Fluffy. That's a new one, but I like it. I like that idea of that when you really connect with Spirit, that life within us, all of those feelings, and I think bliss, euphoria, all of that, just, how could you not? Right? How can you not feel that? And so when we connect with Spirit, we are inspired inspired, inspirited. It is that inspiritation, if you will, inspiration that we feel. And then from that, true inspiration comes from that, I think. Sort of what I'm sort of playing with around inspiration. That then we are urged to do something. That we are urged to give. We are urged to share. We are urged to bless. We are urged to help other people. We are urged to be Spirit in the world, however that shows up. How does that show up for you? How does being Spirit in the world show up in your life? Anybody? Volunteer for Family Promise. That's a great one. Yeah. Care team, going to visit people, giving meals and rides and really honoring the Spirit within each other and however we do that. And so I think that's the idea for me of inspiring, that we are, as a community, inspiriting. And that's why we come together. To waken to Spirit. That inner experience of the divine that we are. And that's what we do. And I believe that's really the purpose for coming together. The purpose, well, let me say, it's the primary purpose, I think, for us coming together here in this sanctuary. I think that's the true purpose of any spiritual community. I think that should be the here I go shoulding on people, but the idea that the primary purpose of church, of spiritual community, is to help people have an experience of God. And to have that experience of Spirit, that inner experience of Spirit. It's certainly not to simply maintain the church, although I think we might have gotten lost in that to some extent. You know, churches should be in the business of becoming obsolete. Really. Because we should be here to help people have their own experience of God. And then we can come together in community to celebrate that. And we do that too. And so that's another, I think, purpose of community. That you come together with all of these beautiful spirits and you see God reflected in each other's faces. And that then helps you to have your own inspiritation. Right? In fact, I think I even have a slide that says inspiritation. Do I? Somebody already. You're ahead of me. Oh my gosh. Inspiration. And so we come together to help each other have that experience. And we do that, hopefully, through our classes and our workshops and the events that we have. I think that's our purpose. And when we talk about being inspiring, I think as it says in our definition of our core value, as we consciously awaken to our Christ light, we help to empower other people to do the same thing. And so everyone in this room today who has had an experience of your own inspiritation is here as a minister to help other people have their experience of inspiritation. We are all ministers together in this community. That's why we're here. To encourage each other, to know our truth, to experience it, and then to go out and share it. Right? That's why we come together in community. And so I think that, as I said, we do that, and I told you I was at the rally this weekend. And I want to say this about, if you haven't been a part of any aspect of our youth and family ministry, I encourage you to do that if you have any inkling, because I believe that is what our youth and family ministry does. And very powerfully and effectively. is that they begin at a very early age teaching our children that they are the Christ in expression. They help them to know their spiritual truth from a very young age. Man, I wish I'd had that when I was a kid. And then up into teenagers, they become, and like I said, the rally was for high schoolers, the YOUers are high schoolers. And I wrote my blog about that, and I said I was inspired. I should have said I was inspirited. I had an inspiration experience this weekend because these teenagers, well, let me just back up. I haven't spent a lot of time with teenagers in my past, with children, period. I don't have children of my own. And so I have my own ideas about, things you see on the news and things that you see about teenagers that, we see, we don't always see the best. But this weekend helped me to see the best. To see the best. To witness the best. To witness a group to witness a group of maybe 60 teenagers. Whether they grew up in Unity or not, I don't know. But they're a group of teenagers who unconditionally embraced each other, accepted each other, and loved each other, no matter what. No matter what. Man, they could teach us a lot. And so willing to go to deep places in their own spirituality, in their own journey. To question their own beliefs, their own way of thinking about their peers. I know we talk about sometimes, I've heard it before that rallies can be life-changing. And I think that's true for many teenagers, and I think in some ways for those of us who are adults who get to experience it, it can be life-changing. And so, I think I heard, and I won't say who it was, but one of our teenagers came back and said it was life-transforming because it helped him to learn not to be so judgmental of other people who look different or who act different. And that in and of itself is a miracle. And I think I came back from that rally thinking, if Unity did nothing else, that would be enough. Because they need to know that they matter. They need to know that they're loved. We all do. But especially at that age. Especially as children. And so we have that opportunity to give them that. To give them that. And it's just it's such a privilege and an honor that we get to do that. And so, as I may have said in my blog, I think it has awakened me to more of my personal purpose in ministry is to really help to support that in a more meaningful way. And I'm very grateful for that. My inspiration that weekend, inspired me to something greater, to feel awe and to feel compassion, and then to do something with that. I don't yet know how that might unfold, but I want to invite you into it with me. I want to invite us into that. Holding that, how can we do that? How can we really, truly be that place where not just young people and teenagers come to have an inspiritation experience, but where everyone who comes to be a part of anything we do here is encouraged and supported in having that inspiriting experience. Because I think that's what we're about. And yeah. So it touched something deep within me. It really touched something, sparked something deep within me that I want to invite us all to experience, invite us into having that. And I hope, it is my sincere hope, that you do have an inspiritation experience when you come here. When you come here to be a part of this community. Because if we're truly living what we say are our core values, then I think that's what we're here to support and to do in the world.